What's going on, everybody? C4 here today, continuing with my Madden 18, Madden 17 roster reveal, and we're going to be taking a look today at the Carolina Panthers on this beautiful Saturday. Hopefully Saturday afternoons, but about the time you guys are seeing this. So if you don't know what the premise of this is by now, please go check out the Philadelphia Eagles episode, which was the debut episode. Of course, we're starting with the Eagles, where I go for probably 3 minutes in explaining these rosters. I've seen multiple, I assume they're not subscribers, commenting just idiotic things that I fully explained. But some cliff notes is that these rosters are all my opinion for ratings in combination with Pro Football Focus, their stats. We have all free agency moves, most of them. There may be like literally one or two that I've forgotten. We have all teams' draft picks from the first 3 rounds. And then for rounds 4 to undrafted free agent, I've included guys that I think are notable. You guys will be getting these rosters for free at 35,000 subscribers, so keep sharing the love. Some of the height, weights, and races are different because the offline player management tool is pretty lacking. So these are connected franchise mode rosters, so once you get into your connected franchise mode, you can make the ever so small tweaks to make these rosters perfect. So without further ado, let's jump right in for the Carolina Panthers. Very interesting team. Very interesting team because of how disappointing they were last year, coming off of a Super Bowl appearance and an MVP caliber quarterback who's now an 85 overall. Now, this is just a regression. I mean, statistically speaking, Cam Newton was like as good as Carson Wentz was last year. Had actually, yeah, pretty much almost identical stats, to be fair. But we gave Carson Wentz a 79. So why are we giving Cam Newton an 85? Well, because he regressed. He was like a 93, 94 for the base roster in Madden 17. Now, he's up to an 85. I think, you know, it's not a bad rating for Cam Newton. Certainly can bounce back if everything and everyone stays healthy next year. The addition of Christian McCaffrey in the backfield is incredibly intriguing. I think he will bounce back. I don't necessarily believe Cam Newton will ever be MVP again, to be honest with you, but I do think that he can continue to be exactly what he is, and that is an impossible quarterback to game plan for. And you know, he should be, you know, top 10 quarterback. There's no reason with the athletic ability that he has that he should not be a top 10 quarterback consistently. So 85 for Cam Newton. We gave Derek Anderson a 69 and Joe Webb a 65. Don't want to talk about Joe Webb as a Philadelphia Eagle fan, or having flashbacks and nightmares when he was quarterbacking for the Minnesota Vikings on a Tuesday night. Going to the running backs, we gave Jonathan Stewart an 84 overall. Last year, Jonathan Stewart had 824 yards, 9 touchdowns in only 13 starts. So if he would have played a full 16, probably would have been 1,000-yard running back with 10 touchdowns. A lot of people are kind of shitting on him, acting like he's an afterthought. He's not bad. It's more so his contract is kind of outrageous. But I mean, when healthy, which is a key with Jonathan Stewart, he's not a bad running back. I think him and Christian McCaffrey will form a very nice two-headed running back attack, kind of a smash and dash, kind of with the, you know, the formula they had when D'Angelo Williams was still on the roster. But now you got Christian McCaffrey. We gave him a 78 overall, 90 speed, got that 93 agility. I'm sure most of you guys have seen his agility drills. I mean, he's insanely quick. So yeah, 78 overall. I think these guys are both. You know, a lot of people are assuming Christian McCaffrey's going to outright take that. I think they're going to ease him into things. He's going to get plenty of snaps, but I don't think he'll be the lead back. I think Jonathan Stewart will start out as a lead back and then work in Christian McCaffrey on a, you know, pretty even split rotation, I would think. We have Fozzie Whitaker with a 73 and Cameron Artis-Payne with a 71. It's not a bad stable of running backs that they have here in Carolina. I wouldn't expect Jonathan Stewart to still be on the roster next season, like going into the 2018-2019 season. But, yeah, man. McCaffrey, though, for Madden terms, is going to be very fun to use in Madden. Fullback, we have Devin Johnson, 64. Wide receiver, we give Kelvin Benjamin an 85 overall. Last year, Kelvin Benjamin finished the year with 63 catches for 941 yards and 7 touchdowns. So I figure 85 is about where he should be. Heard some reports that his weight's not looking good for this training camp, but he's just really good. One of the best red zone wide receivers in the NFL. We give Devin Funchess a 76 overall. Last year, Devin Funchess had 23 catches for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns. Again, I mean, like, I don't understand. Why don't they get, like, you know, I don't understand why you have, like, the two similars. I guess they're hoping just be, you know, you can't just bully people. Be just simply 10 times bigger than every cornerback that they're going to have to come up against. We got Charles Johnson coming up for the Minnesota Vikings, 73. Russell Shepard, 70. Curtis Samuel is a 70, but it could go up. He's only a 70 at the wide receiver spot because he's not really a wide receiver. Not really. He's just an offensive weapon. So I couldn't give him, like, you know, the intangibles that you have as a running back in route running and, you know, just straight up, he's a work in progress, but the athletic ability is there with his 94 speed and 95 acceleration, 90 agility. You guys will be able to make it work. Put it this way, I think you're going to be able to make it work with Curtis Samuel, and it could certainly go up. I think he's exactly what this offense needed after they lost Ted Ginn and Philly Brown. He's the speed. He's the smash, and these guys are the smash. He's the dash. So I think he's going to have a much bigger role, and that 70 certainly will improve once we see and get a little bit better idea of how he's going to be used in that offense. Burson 69, Kieris Garrett 60, and Demirie Bird 50. You suck. All right, we have G-Reg with his third leg. Greg Olsen, a 92 overall last year, 80 catches for almost 1,100 yards and 3 touchdowns. So the touchdowns were down a little bit, but I mean, when Cam Newton and that offense was struggling, there's only so many touchdowns to go around. But over 1,000 yards for a tight end is quite the accomplishment. So I figured 92. I think he's my third highest tight end. I think after Gronk and I think actually I don't know the exact stats, but he puts that he's a top 5 tight end in the NFL all day long. I'm a big fan of Greg Olsen, so a 92 is about where I feel he should be. 70 for Ed Dixon, 64 for Scott Simonson, 62 for Manhurts, and 44 for the long snapper. Left tackle, a lot of left tackles. Look at that. These guys here, I mean, some of these guys are right tackles. You can, I wasn't going into the complete nitty-gritty on the depth chart, but you figure the lead dog here at left tackle is going to be Matt Khalil, who came over from the Minnesota Vikings. Has been meh, to be completely honest with you. I think 78 may even be considered generous, I guess, if a Vikings fan could come in for how bad their offensive line was last year. But we just gave him the 78. You got Michael Lowe here, Mr. Blindside. Now not on the blind side. I think he actually still is a right tackle, but we have him here at left tackle, 72. And literally just a bunch of guys. Just a bunch of names there. Left guard, we have Andrew Norwell, 86. Probably the best offensive lineman on this team. Consistently, in terms of consistency, Ryan Khalil Khan had a down year last year. But Norwell here, we give him an 86. You got Silatalu, Amini Silatalu, 73. Yankee, 69. Tyler Larson, sorry, 66. But Norwell's not bad. At the center spot, we have Ryan Khalil, kind of coming off a down year, whereas in 2015-2016, he was one of the top centers in the NFL. We gave him an 81. I think Pro Football Focus, I guess we might as well back it up. Norwell had an 86 last year. I couldn't find Ryan Khalil's grade, but I think it was low 80, so we just gave him an 81. Grakowski there with a 71. We have Trey Turner, who got a 78 Pro Football Focus, gave him a 70.1. I gave him the 78 just for upside. He had to play, from what I've been told from Panther fans, like pretty much right tackle, right guard. So that's why his grade was not excellent. We got Chris Scott here with a 70 at right tackle. We have Darrell Williams, who we generously gave a 70 overall. Pro Football Focus gave him a 53.8 score, which is horrendous. But I figured, let's throw him a bone here. Certainly could go up or down. They drafted Taylor Moton from Western Michigan. I really do like that pickup. A very athletic player that can play right guard, right tackle. And maybe, he could be a guy, prime candidate to get a starting gig as a rookie at that right tackle spot. But I guess maybe Panther fans, offensive line grades, if you're a diehard, those are the things I like to look into. Because right now, all I basically use is Pro Football Focus. So if you can say, oh man, because sometimes I know Pro Football Focus gets things wrong. So if you guys disagree with any of the offensive line grades, I'm certainly open to be modifying them a little bit. At left defensive end, we gave old man Charles Johnson an 83 overall last year. Charles Johnson finished the season with 4 sacks in 13 starts, 4 sacks. He had 3 forced fumbles, just shy of 30 tackles. So that's still an 83, fairly productive playmaker, even though he's getting up there in age. Webster with a 63. At right defensive end, we gave Julius Peppers, newcomer, 84 overall. Newcomer. Well, I'm acting like you. Obviously, he's a Panthers GOAT. He had 7.5 sacks as an outside linebacker last year with the Green Bay Packers. So you figure now he's going to move back onto the line. I can't wait, man. Julius Peppers is one of my favorite players in Madden history. And it's just old school playing with him on the Carolina Panthers. We have Mario Addison, who we gave in a 82 overall. Last year, he had 2 forced fumbles, 9.5 sacks, and 25 tackles. Again, debatably could be maybe 83, 84, same as Julius Peppers, but just because he was a rotational guy, I mean, that's like one of those things. If he wasn't good enough to be a starter, it says here he only started 1 game. Should we give him that much higher of a rating? That's about like where he reminds me of Vinny Curry. That's what Vinny Curry was when he was with the Eagles. So I figure 82, 83 is about where Mario Addison should be, but there's going to be plenty of people that are like, oh, he should be higher than old man Julius Peppers. So yeah, let me know about that one. Wes Horton, 70, Delaire, 67, and Deshaun Hall, I like that. Look, I'm including even some of the later round picks with a 65. A defensive tackle, we have K1 Short, a 91 overall. This guy's an incredible defensive tackle. 16 starts last year, had a forced fumble, 6 sacks, and over 55 tackles. 91 all day long. He just got paid, I don't know if they worked out a contract extension. I know he got tagged. He's making good money. Star Lutulele, 75. Vernon Butler, 75. And Kyle Love, 72. Great depth here on the defensive line for the Carolina Panthers. I think Lutulele actually had 4 sacks last year. So, I mean, that's productive. Left side linebacker, we give Shaq Thompson an 85 overall. This guy's really coming on, coming out of college. No one knew what he was going to play. Is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? Hell, is he even a running back? But he really performed last season well. In 12 starts for the Carolina Panthers, Shaq Thompson had an interception. He had 5 pass deflections. He had almost 60-some tackles. So really, really good in coverage, and they needed him to step up a little bit when Luke Kuechly went down for injury. I think 85 is about where he should be. I mean, you debatably could have him a little bit lower. I don't think you go much higher than 85. I think he could be between 82 and 85. So because I'm high on him and I really like his coverage ability and the kind of athletic ability and instincts he brings at the linebacking core, I give him an 85. Norris here with a 60. Middle linebacker Luke Kuechly getting the J.J. Watt treatment, where I had Kuechly and J.J. Watt as a 99 because they basically didn't play. I mean, Kuechly played, what, 8-9 games last year. So gave him a 98 instead of a 99. As much as I love my boy Jordan Hicks on the Philadelphia Eagles, Kuechly is the top middle linebacker in the NFL, I have to say. Fairly easy. Actually, he had 10 starts last year. 10 starts, he had a pick, 6 pass deflections, forced fumble, 2 sacks, and still got 100 tackles, which is pretty goddamn crazy. But because he missed a little bit of time, 6 games due to injury. And I do believe, this is one of those things. I do believe that the team, Panthers' chances went down when Kuechly got hurt. But then also, do you weigh that in against him, or do you weigh that for him? Because you weigh that for his importance to that team. Once he went down, everything else went to shit. Or because he went down, it was a failure of the team. He kind of has to carry the team on the back, and he wasn't there, they couldn't win. But I feel 98's built fair for a guy that got hurt. But, I assume once he comes back full health, he will be a 99 once again. We got Jacobs here, 63, and Ben Ballware, 57. I haven't modified him yet. You could definitely make Ben Ballware probably like a 63. Let's actually go right now. How much time do we got here? I usually like keeping these around 10 minutes. Oh, shit, we're already over 10 minutes. And he's black. Here's a good example. I'm not going to modify it yet because you can't modify skin. Here's what people don't understand when they're like, oh, why is this and this? This is all I can edit. I can't edit his age. I can only edit his hometown. Let's be honest, I'm not doing that shit. I can't edit his skin color. I can't edit anything. Height, weight, there's nothing there. So, right now, we have a black chocolate dream Ben Ballware here on the Panthers. So, once you guys get into your connected franchise modes, you can edit him. I think that's actually what I did. Guys that their races need to change, I made their overalls really low. So, for Shaq, you want to check him and like, what? Why is he that low? And you see, oh, because there's so much stuff we still have to edit. But yeah, Ben Ballware is included, though. For right outside linebacker, we got Thomas Davis Sr., who we gave an 87 overall last year. Old man Thomas Davis, 16 starts, 3 picks, 4 pass deflections, a forced fumble, 2.5 sacks, and over 100 tackles. Also had a touchdown. So that's an 87 for old man Thomas Davis. When healthy, this is one of the best linebacking cores in the NFL. Mayo, 66, and Jeremy Cash, the converted safety, 65. In the secondary, we gave James Bradbury an 82 overall last season. James Bradbury, as a rookie, 13 starts, he had 2 picks, 10 pass deflections, and over 50 tackles. I would say probably top 3 cornerback last season for rookies. I'd say you probably have to put Jalen Ramsey ahead of him. And then it's pretty much, battle for who was the number 2 corner. There was a lot of good cornerback play. Captain Marley coming over from the Minnesota Vikings, coming back home. We gave him an 80. Darryl Worley, another rookie. We gave him a 77 overall last year. Darryl Worley, in 11 starts, had a pick, had 9 pass deflections, a sack, and 60, 78, oh my god, almost 90 tackles as a rookie. It was not a very good secondary, so I'm not going to give him much higher than that because these guys' coverage ability was absolutely terrible. Just look at, the Atlanta Falcons game. But 77 is not bad. We got Patman, 68, rookie Corn Elder, 67, Zach Sanchez, 66, and Teddy Williams, 61. Free safety, we have Kurt Coleman, former Philadelphia Eagle, an 80 overall, 15 starts. He had 4 picks, 7 pass deflections, a forced fumble, a sack, and 95 tackles. I think 80's kind of low. I think I kind of took it out on Kurt Coleman just because, like the stats look nice, but their secondary was terrible last season. So I can't give everyone a super high overall. So I figure 80's about the minimum you could give a guy that had the production that Kurt Coleman had. But I can't give all these guys like 84s, 85s because they were terrible. So the points have to come off somewhere. And I figure Kurt Coleman, he'll understand. Former Philadelphia Eagle, he'll understand. Give it an 80, but again, certainly you could modify that up a little bit because his stats were probably better than an 80, but there's some liabilities back there, and maybe that's another thing we're Panthers fan. Offensive line, look for your feedback, and then why was your secondary so bad? What players' stats lie? They don't show the true reflection of how they played last season. That's another thing we can get out here. 66 for Colin Jones. At strong safety, they got Mike Adams coming over from the Indianapolis Colts. Old man Mike Adams, still very productive. This guy here somehow just finds a way when he plays a full season to get like 6 picks. So I like that pick. A nice veteran move, 82. Marlowe, 67. Southward, 67. Kicker, Graham Gano with a 76. Struggled a little bit last season. And we have the punter battle between Andy Lee and Michael Pilardi, 73 and 71. So there you go, guys. That is your ratings for Madden 18 and Madden 17 rosters for the Carolina Panthers. As always, if you disagree or even agree, leave a comment in the comment section below. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. At 35,000 subscribers, these rosters will be released for free. And until next time, it's C4 saying